What is good, Ninja? My name is OJ and welcome to NewsEssence, where we go over some of the best topics and have some nice discussions right here in the village. So I want to welcome everyone and thank you for joining me for this video today. We had an awesome PE live earlier today, so make sure you check out the replay of that. A lot of cool stuff going on there. But in today's NewsEssence, I wanted to discuss a couple different things that came from the Nintendo Direct. The insane week of July 9th. That week is going to be absolutely bonkers. Seriously, guys, it's crazy in terms of releases. And I also want to get into a little bit of the millions, potentially, of dollars lost on the Nintendo Switch hate not being there, or at least not like it was with Nintendo in terms of the Wii U. Seriously, millions of dollars is being lost here. So I wanted to discuss that as somewhat of a fun topic, and I also wanted to discuss Code of Princess, the game that came out on the Nintendo 3DS. That game is actually coming out on the Nintendo Switch, so that's some great information there. So let's go ahead and get right into this. And we're gonna start off with July 9th. Now that week, make sure you have your money saved, you have your money ready to go, because guys, seriously, this is one of the best weeks, July 10th, one of the best weeks for releases. We've got 5 games coming out. 3 of them come in one collection, but I'm pretty sure you guys noticed this during the Direct, hey, okay, this game's coming out in July, this game's coming out in July, this game's coming out in July, and let's just go over them real quick. So on July 10th, which is a Tuesday, we have the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy comes out. That comes with Crash 1, 2, and 3. Fantastic, awesome collection, great games, remastered, looks good, all right there on your Nintendo Switch. Now on July 12th, there was a little game called Project Octopath Traveler that's continuously selling out when it comes to the Wayfarers edition on Amazon and on different places. So that's absolutely insane that that game is doing so well. People are really looking forward to that. Over 1 million people have downloaded the demo. People gave their feedback and they implemented those changes into the actual game. So that's great as well. And then the final game for that week, right after that, is July 13th, and that is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker on the Nintendo Switch, which is an updated version of the Wii U build, but it has a bunch of new levels from Mario Odyssey in terms of content goes. You have some Joy-Con multiplayer that's also coming to Nintendo 3DS, but let's just be honest here, a lot of us are probably gonna buy it on the Nintendo Switch. And this game, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, was actually a pretty good game. Now, it's not my style, but it's really good, it's smooth and fluid, and more people probably would have bought it if the Wii U wasn't necessarily a failure. And I know I say that a lot, guys, but it's just the truth. It's just the truth with a lot of these games coming over. They just didn't sell what they should have sold because the Wii U just didn't sell enough units for these games to produce more than what they should have done. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker sold over 1 million units on the Wii U, but it probably should have sold around 3 to 4 million, somewhere in that range, if the system was more popular. So I get it, and I understand why they're bringing this game back, because it's a high quality game and you can throw in some Super Mario Odyssey levels in there as well. But let's talk about that. That's July 10th, July 12th, and July 13th. All in that same week, you have all of those games hitting the Nintendo Switch. If anybody was doubting that Nintendo does not want to keep the momentum going, right there, whether it's third-party support, first-party support, whether it's third-party purchased games like Project Octopath, the third-party funded games that Nintendo wanted to bring out, Nintendo is kind of hitting on all cylinders, and we saw that with the Nintendo Direct. Yes, there were games that were out maybe last year or whatever the case was on PS4, Xbox One, but that doesn't matter because the Nintendo Switch is a completely different type of beast. It's a system that you can take anywhere that you want. These are games that we never got on the Wii U, that we never got on the 3DS. Nintendo users are finally being able to experience these games, and better yet, we're not having to pay double price for them. We're not having to pay one for a 3DS version, then one for a Nintendo Switch version, with the exception of, I guess, Captain Toad, but at the same time, you can take your Nintendo Switch anywhere that you want. So if you already have a Nintendo Switch, it doesn't matter at this point. It really does not matter. So it's just great to see these styles of games coming over. But July 10th, let's talk about that. That is probably the best week probably since the Nintendo Switch launched, right? I would say in terms of total releases, the quality of games that you're gonna get in that 1 week. Now we had, of course, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We've had stuff like Doom, and we've had stuff like LA Noire, and we've had stuff like Skyrim, and those were kind of spread out a little bit more all throughout of November. But in 1 week, to be able to get Project Octopath, that game right there, man, that game is a high-tier AAA game in my opinion. And then on top of that, Captain Toad, which is a proven commodity with more content, and then also Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy. Which game are you guys going to be getting out of those? Are you guys going to be getting all of them? There is definitely going to be some empty pockets. Nintendo is making sure people are spending all their money on the games there. People can't even afford all these games, because even before that, with June, there's some games coming out. Then also May, there's Dark Souls, Hyrule Warriors, Donkey Kong. There's a bunch of stuff coming out. There's still Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. That's looking like a June release as well. So man, it is just absolutely insane. And I wanted to highlight how good that week is, because you might want to start saving up for that week, guys. Crash, Octopath, Captain Toad, all in that one week. That's the best week that I've seen so far when it comes to first party, third party, and kind of everything mixed in between. It's fantastic that week. So what do you guys think about the week of July 9th through, I think it's like the July 9th through the 16th or something like that? We have 5 games coming out, 3 of them in one collection, one big one of Project Octopath Traveler, fantastic RPG, and then we also have a port with some new content when it comes to Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. Let me know your thoughts on all of those games in the comment section below. All right, I'm moving into a little bit of a playful topic, I guess, but it's just something that I noticed when it came to the contrast between what happened with the Wii U and even with the Nintendo 3DS in some regards, and what's happening with the Switch. Now, all of you guys know here on YouTube, it is a business for many people. Many people can go out there, you make videos, they can go viral, they can say certain things, whatever the case is. Now, we run pretty much of a steady show here. We get pretty much consistency when it comes to the content, and I like that. I like hanging out with you guys when it comes to PE Live. Things are pretty steady when it comes around here, so it's all good when it comes to Wii U, back when I was doing content there, and now all the way with the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, things are going a lot better now at this point. The Nintendo Switch has been doing really well, but I'm gonna bring you guys back to a little bit of an era with the Wii U, to where literally millions of dollars was made on trolling or on bashing Wii U. We saw this all the time. I would see hundreds of thousands, even millions of views on the Wii U failed because of this. Is the Wii U going to fail? The Wii U has failed. The Wii U has failed this. The Wii U has failed that. Mario's just not what it used to be. I mean, seriously, these videos would pop up at least every single day, at least one video a day, and it wasn't just smaller YouTubers, it was bigger YouTubers, it was just all over the place, and that generates a ton of clicks, a ton of revenue. Nintendo needs to do this to rebound. Nintendo needs to do that. So it's funny because that was a big market, and a lot of people felt that market was going to continue with the Nintendo Switch, especially when we found out about the specs of this system. Oh, it's gonna be another Wii U. What? They're doing another gamepad type of thing? What? Nobody wants to do that. Everyone wants to play games just like PS4 and Xbox One. So some people were even anticipating that. Heck, we've seen it a little bit. We saw people prematurely already saying from bigger YouTubers that the Nintendo Switch is going to fail in 2018, and it's been nothing but that. That's like not even true. I mean, we've seen all sorts of videos beforehand, but it's getting harder and harder to make those type of videos, and it's to the point to where, yeah, you might see one here and there, but it's not going to get the clicks, it's not going to get the revenue and get the play like the Wii U did because of the sales. So that's why I'm so happy it's actually on the flip side, because for everything that doesn't happen, there's something that does happen, and we've seen quite a number of channels kind of rise up that you probably wouldn't have seen back in the Wii U era, the 3DS era. We've seen channels rise up and do great because of the Nintendo Switch doing so well. But it's just funny because that market that's there, that's literally hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. I'd actually go millions of dollars of revenue lost in one particular section just because the Nintendo Switch is successful, and you can't continuously make this fail this fail that, this is a failure, Nintendo's doomed. You can't continuously make those videos. So it's just interesting how these things work out, and it's funny because then those people have to do different things, right? You can't rely upon those type of videos in order to do what you need to do or get your views or anything like that. So I just wanted to talk about the stark contrast, and as someone here, when it comes to player essence, man, we love Nintendo, obviously. I like all systems. I have PS4, I have Xbox One, I have PC. I'll cover all of them somewhat when it comes to RPG and gaming, but I'm really honed in, and that's what I wanted to do with this generation when it came to Nintendo Switch. I really wanted to hone in on Nintendo, hone in on RPGs, hone in on adventure games and action games, stuff that I really like. Therefore, I can actually create content with passion for you guys, like Smash Brothers. Whenever I talk about Smash, you guys know it's coming from the heart. Whenever I talk about Nintendo and RPGs, you know it's coming from the heart, man. So that's the reason why I wanted to create the channel I was. And whether the Switch was successful or not, you were gonna get pretty much the same type of content. You were gonna get that passionate content when it comes to Nintendo's games. And I'm gonna always deliver that, no matter how Nintendo's system does. Heck, I did it all with the Wii U as well. So to me, it's just interesting to see that. I wanted to talk about it a little bit, maybe get your thoughts, because I know a lot of you guys were around during that time period as well. Heck, I've made my fair share of, man, like, I don't know what's gonna happen type of videos, or Nintendo needs to do this. but it wasn't as crazy as some of the other ones, and it definitely didn't get the millions or hundreds of thousands of views as the Nintendo is doomed type of videos and articles. It's just great to see people can't rely upon that. Now we're seeing a lot of Nintendo has done this great and then that great. There's been some objectiveness, which is great. Objectiveness is always cool. Seeing what Nintendo can do better. Those videos are always good as well. But it's so good to see people positive about the system, upbeat about it. And that, I think, influences developers to say, hey, you know what, we can invest in this system. So it's all positive in my opinion. So what do you guys think about the contrast between what has happened when it comes to the social media, when it comes to the videos, when it comes to what happened between the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch? What are your favorite memories and stuff that's happened so far? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the final article here, I wanted to get into another game that's coming over from the Nintendo 3DS to the Nintendo Switch, but I think that there's like a PC version or something like that. But either way, once again, Nicholas is back at it again with those games, physical and digital. We've got Code of Princess. Now, I might have talked about this in a video beforehand, but either way, I'm talking about it again because I wanted to get it on NewsEssence, because this version of the game will be running, I think, at 1080p, but they did say 60 frames per second on this one, and that was my major problem with the Nintendo 3DS version. The frame rate was kind of all over the place. They didn't really lock it into some way, like it was always like kind of moving depending on how many enemies were on screen. It was just kind of jerky. And the combat was fun though. The combat was really good. It's like an old school 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up where you play as like a half-naked princess. She goes around with this huge sword and you slash people up, but then you can also play as other people as well. It's a fantastic game. I had a lot of fun with that on the 3DS, but I think that a Nintendo Switch version would be great, and they are bringing it over. You don't lose that functionality of portability that you have with the 3DS, but then you also get the 60 frames per second, you get the high quality visuals that you would see on a home console. It is a win-win, and Nicholas is just lighting it up when it comes to games out there. Now, the biggest thing that I want to see with Code of Princess, and I think there was multiplayer in there. I think there's either local or there's online. I'm not sure if they're going to do anything differently with that, but Code of Princess had some kind of sketchy voice acting, which will probably still be in there. I think a Japanese voice track would be nice if they're able to put that in there, just because some of the voices were just like, I don't know about this one. But I think overall, Code of Princess is a game that was underappreciated a bit. I think it did a lot of cool things. It reminded me of a lot of the old school 2D beat 'em ups, like the X-Men and stuff like that you would play back in the day. It was a lot of fun. And I think that it's a great game to bring over to the Nintendo Switch. It's coming physical and digital. Thank you so much, Nicholas. I do appreciate you guys bringing over physical and digital. This summer it's going to be launching, and it's going to be digital first, and then later there's going to be a physical edition. So what do you guys think about Code of Princess coming to Nintendo Switch? Is this the type of game that you're going to be looking forward to? Also, what do you think about the other two topics that I discussed when it comes to the crazy week of July 9th, in addition to the just stark contrast in terms of what the success of a system can do compared to the failure of a system and what you see? I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on all the different topics in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming page. Consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.